Okay, so let's back up kidogo. To get subliminals, we need to get to affirmations.
Oh yeah, true.
Right? Yeah. So basically, how you rewire your mind, like we mentioned, is through repetition, right? So that's what affirmations are. They're basically like repetition. Like it's the same way, like you mentioned that, like if you keep hearing something, like what people say to you affects you, it does because of repetition. So if you want to reprogram yourself, instead of waiting for like an external like situation to change who you are or influence your thoughts, you can do it yourself. So through affirmations. So a good example is, for example, if you are not a good public speaker and you want to have the confidence to speak in front of people, you start telling yourself, I'm a good public speaker.
Over and over again.
Over and over again, right? So in the beginning, it's gonna be hard because it's like you feel like you're lying to yourself because you believe, you have a program and a belief in your subconscious mind that says I'm not a good public speaker.
Yeah.
So if I say right now I'm a good public speaker and I believe that I'm not, then there's that resistance, right? So the thing that differentiates people who actually get over that hump is like being able to do it despite the resistance, right? It's like with anything else, like the difference between someone who builds muscle by going to the gym is they show up even when it's hard.
Yeah.
But the people who quit maybe after day 3 and they won't get those muscles. So it's the same with the affirmations. So you keep saying it over and over again, even when it's not easy, even when you feel the resistance, right? So that works for people. In fact, I even recommend that even if you're using subliminals, you still use affirmations because they will never go out of style. So sometimes even on YouTube, there are so many programs that have like the affirmations playing. So instead of you actively saying it, you listen to a program that has
says that.
Yeah, like pre-recorded affirmations, like I'm a great public speaker, I'm confident in front of people, I can speak my mind with ease, stuff like that. So what subliminals are like, they're just recorded affirmations. So they have now the affirmations recorded in the audio format that you keep listening to them.
Wow.
But the difference between recorded audios that you can hear the words, the affirmations, and subliminals is that with subliminals you can't hear the words.
Your conscious mind can actually hear them.
Yeah, your conscious mind doesn't hear, so there's no resistance. Hakuna hiyo feeling ya najidanganya because there's nothing you're listening. You can't hear the affirmations. So the affirmations.
So even if you put like the top volume, you won't hear anything.
Yeah. So there are different subliminal makers make them differently. There are people who layer with music. So when you listen to the subliminal, you're just listening to the music.
Or sound of the rains or something.
Yes. And so the affirmations go right into your subconscious mind. So a good analogy that explains this well is, you can think of your conscious mind as a watchman, and your subconscious is like in a mansion. So if I come in, I'm a visitor, and I come to the gate and I'm saying I want to go see Mdosi, now the subconscious mind, because I want to give him this letter that has affirmations that say that I'm a good public speaker, watchman atakuwa like Z, like I'll pity hapa. Yeah. So like subliminal sneak past the watchman straight into the subconscious, and the subconscious always accepts everything as true. So that's why there's a watchman. So the watchman is there to decide ini kweli, ini uongo.
Yeah, true.
Kama ni uongo, hapiti. But once you get into the subconscious, yataitikia. Whether conscious mind anafikiria ini uongo ama ni kweli doesn't matter, because you've already gotten to the boss. That means that the subconscious is like, whatever you're saying is true because umepita kwa watchman. Kama watchman amekuitikia upite, inamaanisha you're good. So subliminals do that. Like they have the affirmations inside, so there's no resistance from the conscious mind.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a great hack. Yeah, you just put in the earphones or you put it out here to play, and there's nothing you're listening. You're not hearing anything. Yeah, so like it makes it easier for the thoughts, for you to change your thoughts. So it's a very good way of
Yeah. So before the podcast, I think we talked a bit some time back about how they're actually made. For the viewers to understand how the subliminals really work, they need to get like the concept, the understanding of how they're made. And you mentioned something about repeating the words over and over again, like 4 million times in like barely a second. Like, explain that.
Yeah, so that's part of audio engineering. Like how I make them is I layer them. Basically, I use a software to like stack them up. So like if it's one audio that has now the affirmations, I like double it and then I double it again like that. So it's like the same thing over and over again.
Wow.
So it's like, yeah, it's like having I don't know what analogy would help, but basically like putting one paper over another, like and all of that at once. So it makes it it's like having multiple people. If this room is filled with like 100 people telling you the same thing over and over
Over
again,
and over again.
yeah, your thoughts will change faster because the repetition is more. Yeah.
Amazing. Oof.
Yeah.
Let's now talk about the personal experiences on using subliminals. Yes, you can start with you.
Okay, yeah. So I've been on this subliminal journey for a while, like 5 years now.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've had it. This is very interesting because honestly, I feel like I have to really look back to the person I was before, because I think with subliminals is that in the beginning when you start listening, you're excited after a few days because you're feeling the change. You know, it's something new.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then after a while, it becomes normal. It becomes who you are because you've already, the thoughts and the beliefs have already changed. So I think for me, if I was to speak about one specific change that for sure has changed my life is the money mindset. I had a very poor relationship with money. Like I used to get money and I spent it as fast as possible,
Just
like
to finish it ASAP.
yeah, like sikuwa naweza kushikilia do. And I realized it's because like I had that programming in my head that money is like the root of all evil and money is bad, so like sikuwa napenda kukaa nayo. So like after I made myself a really powerful subliminal to remove like the poverty mindset and be good with money, and I honestly felt it. Like I felt the change with even how I formed like more respect towards money. Like the coins you have in the house, like before I used to find like a 5 bob or even a 1 bob or a 10 bob, and I'm like, ini kidogo. Like you deciding. But now I have so much respect. I keep them. Like if I find a coin, I keep it very well because I have respect for all money, and money is energy. So like I don't feel guilty or I don't feel bad about having money, or I don't like there's no your poverty mindset hike anymore.
Yeah.
So like that really changed because I started attracting more opportunities. I started realizing that money is abundant. There's never like a shortage of money. The one thing to do is to offer value. If you're offering the world value, you're always going to have money.
Wow.
Because it's just a means of exchange. It's like how kitambo kulikuwa na barter trade. You exchange one thing for another, but money is just there like a middleman.
Wow.
So of all it, I think the changes I've experienced in subliminals, that was the most profound because of how much I was on the opposite side. Like it was so bad, and it's something that it's still getting better, but I feel like I got to the root of the matter. Wow. Which I think can help many people.
Many people, yeah.
Yeah, because money is like the one thing that controls. Not really controls us, but like
it affects everything.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, it touches every aspect of our lives, our freedom, our ability to move around, like everything. You cannot really do anything without money.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and it's interesting because yesterday I was talking to our cousin Patrick about money, and we were talking about how he who feeds you controls you. Wow. So if you have a poverty mindset and you don't know how to manage money, the person who's managing money well and giving it to you controls you. So you have to build your own good relationship with money so that you can have that freedom over your life.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a whole new thing. I wish these things were just taught in school or something.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, but there's a reason they're not. But that's a conversation for another day.
Tunaanza kwa controversial up and down hizo. Yeah, actually it makes so much sense. I feel like I also had a very weird relationship with money for a very long time. I didn't know that until now I started like being aware of how money comes and how I get it back like to nashtukia like sina kitu, like how all that happens.
Yeah.
And so many people normally work like that, like especially the ones who get money so easily. They just like wanauza kashamba mali do inakuja, they have 6 million, all of a sudden wako Dubai wanapiga tu around yuko popping money maze ma champagne daily kwa hivyo
Yeah.
alafu they come back 6 months later and they don't have anything.
Yeah.
And that is all because of the poverty mindset they have. They're still poor technically. They have money in the bank, but they're still poor in the mind. So how is the journey like? Just tell us, like, if someone started today, like, to change that whole mindset about poverty mindset, and they want to have the abundance mindset. Explain the journey.
I think the first step is acknowledging that you have that mindset. Like how we started the conversation about how you asked, like, how can you control your thoughts? The first step is to be aware of them, because you can't solve a problem that you're not aware of.
True.
Yeah, so like even once you now realize, okay, you start asking yourself, do I have a bad relationship with money? Do I have a poverty mindset? If you're not sure, you start thinking, okay, what's a poverty mindset? Like, how do I view money? How do I feel about money? How did I grow up? Like, well, was I always hearing my parents say hakuna pesa? Like, if someone asks me whether I want to go for a trip or something, nasema sina pesa. You know, it's also the words you say, like, because your subconscious is always listening. So I think that's the first step. Then once you recognize that you have a bad relationship with money, maybe you ask yourself, okay, why am I afraid of having money? Also, because there's actually a TikTok I watched about this, and this lady was saying how sometimes our bad relationship with money, our poverty mindset, it comes from the fear of being seen for who you are. Because think about it, like when you have money, when you have the freedom, you're able to be whoever you want to be.
Yeah.
Because you don't have anyone else controlling you. Like even if you're like, hata mnichukie mnipende, mi bado niko na pesa yangu. So like sometimes if you're afraid of being authentic, then you're not going to want to have money. It can be very unconscious, but that's the truth.
Wow.
So asking yourself, okay, why do I have a bad relationship with money? What am I afraid of, or what is affecting me? It requires a very disciplined approach, because you have to know yourself and you have to be able to face yourself, the good and the bad. So once you recognize that, you recognize, okay, maybe it's even a trauma response. Maybe one time, maybe you grew up in having money, and then maybe your uncle killed your father over money.
Wow.
And you know now that created like a trauma. Now you're like, if I have money, someone is gonna come after me.
Oh yeah, true.
Like there's so many reasons. So the thing is to now find out, okay, what is causing it. And sometimes you may need to get help from therapy or ask like your friends or something. Once you recognize that, now whatever the problem is, now you start finding ways to heal it and telling yourself that you're safe. You're gonna be okay whether you have money or not. Yeah. So that's the first step. That's the process. Alternatively, you can just listen to a subliminal for removing poverty mindset, and you don't have to go through the whole
all
thing.
those things.
Yeah.
It's actually a shortcut.
Yeah, it's a shortcut, yeah. But both processes work. Yeah.
I was actually also watching another TikTok of a lady explaining how she shaped her whole relationship with money. And she started off by writing a letter to money. And it sounded so weird to me also the first time.
Yeah.
And it will actually sound so weird also to other people when they hear the first time. So she wrote a letter and wrote all the things that she believed. At first, was just all the terrible things. Like when you have a friend and they do you probably terrible things, and you tell them all the naked truth about everything they did to you.
Yeah.
It is the first step of like getting the relationship back up and running. Yeah. So wrote all the terrible things. Then after a while, she started like getting better with that because now it's out of her system.
Yeah.
Then she wrote probably like just medium stuff. Then the next was just like expressing love, how she loves money. She she likes to like just make money easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and eventually they have like a sound like a very good relationship with money.
Yeah.
And the result started like getting money.
Yeah.
That actually works.
That's actually really nice. Yeah. That's good. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, so before we close, you can talk about visualization. There's also something similar to what you're talking about. So in case tusifunge before to mention your part of visualization. So how does it work?
Yeah, so visualization is also another way to reprogram your subconscious mind. Like seeing it's just a mental image. Like when you close your eyes, you can see something very vividly. But it depends. There are people who can see every detail. There are people who it's blurry. There are people who you can't really see it very well. So it's a muscle as well. It's something to practice. So it's the law of assumption also covers that, because you're seeing yourself at the end. So it's also like intertwined with like the law of attraction, because for example, if right now I want to, let's say, own an iPhone 15, for example, I need to see myself holding that iPhone 15. I need to be able to feel it in my hand. I need to see myself making phone calls with it in my head. I want to see it on my desk while I'm working. So that's visualization. So visualization is important because it taps into your emotions, and emotions are one of the fastest ways to change your beliefs as well. I mean, Neville Goddard talks about it extensively in his book, The Feeling is a Secret, which is I recommend for anyone. Yeah. So he talks about how like your emotions are what create your reality. So as much as you're talking about thoughts, but thoughts also affect your emotions, which is what really influences your reality. So once you're able to see the image in your mind, the next step is to feel the emotions. So if you're not very good at visualizing in terms of seeing the image, you can focus on feeling the feelings. For example, if you want a new job, like see yourself walking into that building every day, feel the emotions of, okay, now I'm a senior manager at X company. Like, how will I work? How will I relate to my colleagues? What would I see like when I enter the building? Like you need to see all of that. So that you have to be delusional. Like you have to like see it before it happens. Like you have to see the end before it happens. And yeah, I think visualization, that's now according to me. I don't know whether I've left something out, because I feel like you're more of an expert when it comes to visualization than me.
Okay. Something I actually learned along the way about visualization and everything else. It's more actually about projecting your life to the future you. And apparently, I feel like even if you look back and look at yourself last year, things that are around you were not actually like there, but you once visualized it. Like I had a friend of mine. We were talking, and he was at that time he was living in a small house, very tiny single room, and he was visualizing himself sitting in his bedroom. Get like uko kwa kasingo room unateseka mbaya alafu anaweza kujiona kwa akili yake akiwa kwa bedroom yake amechill, ati anafungua curtain, anafungua wardrobe, like hizi vitu haziko your time, but she was imagining. And 6 months later, 1 year later, he was living in an amazing apartment.
That's amazing.
And it actually works. I know visualization works. Steve Harvey talks about it. Oprah Winfrey talks about it. Na kama hawa sema bazangu wanabonga hii story na ina work for them, like who are we?
There's truth to it.
Exactly, so much truth to it, and I really particularly respect visualization. Awesome. So anything else before we conclude? Freestyle mbaya. Drop the bombs. Do you have questions?
Yeah, can you have like negative subliminal?
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. They exist actually. That's another conversation I was having with Patrick yesterday. But yeah, actually they're everywhere.
So they can be hidden in normal songs.
Yes, they are actually.
They are.
They already exist. So
you have to be careful where you're sourcing subliminals as well. For example, she makes subliminals, and the process, I can give you an example. She made me, I already have like 2 of them. So the first one, she asked me like, what would you like to have in your list of affirmations? And I told her this and this and this. Then akatuma like a whole list of them now written perfectly. Then I told them, that is perfectly right. So now hizo ndo alitumia. No. So if you, for example, take just random subliminals from anywhere, unaweza kuwa huyo mtu cha nataka the whole entire motive atakuwekea tu hiyo, na atakwambia affirmations ni gani, wewe utasikiza bro, sijui vile ita happen. Maze unashangaa life yako kunaenda. Any other question to the audience? Yo, madam pale, maswali? someone asked about vision board.
Yeah.
Yeah, I normally have one. You can onekana kutoka hapo hivi. So this vision board,
Yeah.
nilisikia idea yake pia na Steve Harvey. Alikuwa anabonga story ya zile magari zote, for example, ziko kwa vision board yake. Sasa ziko kwa driveway, like ashaanza kuishi life.
That's good.
And he saw himself standing on a stage for a very long time. Alikuwa anajiona pia kwa TV stations, then boom, akapop to kwa TV stations. Like you have to see yourself somewhere first, then eventually it comes. Yeah, so I think there's so much to talk about when you talk about the self-development topic.
Yeah.
Woof.
Yeah.
What a guys.
Vision boards are good, and I think I'd leave with the advice that take what works for you.
Yeah.
Like for example, for you, visualization and like having vision boards are like your strong suit. For me, it's like subliminals and affirmations. For someone else, it's like, I don't know, feeling their emotion first.
Yeah, true.
Other people journaling. Other people like gratitude journals. So there's so many ways to like reprogram your mind and attract what you want and like grow yourself. So take what works. Yeah. Amazing.
Inaweza zidi kabisa. So I think we're going to probably do another part. For now, peace.
Adios.